Hi, ladies. Today is Wednesday, November 6th, 2019. 17 weeks postpartum. Um, Today we got Michaela's ears pierced. Let me see if I can show you. I'm holding her. She's napping. You can see the little, sorry. You see the little earring. So I got her ears pierced today. Um, So she'll be 4 months on Friday, on the 8th. Now she's gonna snore, making a noise, which she wasn't doing until I started recording this video, of course. But so I got her ears pierced today. It was rough. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I was torn as to whether to do it because I did not want to cause her unnecessary pain. And next week she has her 4 month doctor's appointment where she'll get more vaccinations. And so she had vaccinations at her 2 month, then again at 4 month, and then 6 month. And I don't know what's after that. But anyway, so I was hesitant to do it. I knew I wanted to get, once I found out, of course, she was a girl, I knew I wanted to get her ears pierced. I had my ears pierced when I was 3 months old, so I was thinking, okay, I'll get her ears pierced when she's 3 months old. She is still technically 3 months old. I was waiting. An aunt of mine wanted to buy her earrings, so I was waiting for her to send the earrings. It took longer than I think it should have for her to finally send me the earrings. And then I received them. She sent me two pairs. Both were 24 karat gold, both birthstone. And I believe the birthstone for July is a ruby. I believe it is. So, so they're both red, but different ones, different shapes. One's a heart and it has like little crystals or diamonds, I don't know, around it, and the other one's just a red circular uh, stone. I don't think it is a ruby. Maybe, but I don't think so. So she bought Michaela the piercing kit that came with the earrings that you use when you get pierced, and the solution and all this stuff in there. But the pediatrician office wouldn't do it, so but wouldn't use those earrings. So I took Michaela to her pediatrician's office to get her ears pierced. Cost me $40. They would not use the earrings that I provided, so we'll have to use them once we take out the current ones, I guess. So what they had were just these, as I showed you, these little um flower shaped things that have little crystals in them, and they're cute enough. They're clear clear crystals. They only had them in clear and in purple. Let's see if I move her a little bit if she'll stop. They only had it in clear and in purple with purple crystals or something like that. Um, and it had a little gold ball, and those were the only options. So I went with the clear because I thought it was a little more versatile. Even though the purple was okay too, but so the piercing experience, they didn't have a gun like a gun that shoots it in. They kind of, it was almost like a something that they just squeeze and it kind of clamps the earring in. So that was their gun essentially, which is probably better for a baby. So it was no like, big. I've had my ears. I got my first holes when I was 3 months, but I have since had my ears pierced other times, and they kind of like shoot it in, so it's a bit of like a boom. There was none of that, which is good. Doesn't mean she didn't cry, because of course it hurts, right? So she cried quite a bit. It was heartbreaking, but it didn't last too long. She did settle down and then start back up, and then settle down, start back up. But since we've been home, she's been okay. Um, and she hasn't tried to touch her ears at all. And I'm not sure if they're still bothering her, but she's laying on the side of her head now, napping, and her ear I thought that may hurt her laying on her ear, but it doesn't appear to. So, she seems to be handling it okay. I have to clean them 3 times a day. Again, the stupid pediatrician's office didn't provide me with any cleaning solution. They just said to use alcohol. They gave me some alcohol pads and they said use alcohol 3 times a day. Um, the kit that my aunt bought has some solution in it, so I might just use that. So, but for the first 24 hours, they told me not to touch the the uh, the earrings. So, I won't be cleaning them until tomorrow. Um, so it was a little sad, but I'm glad it's over with. I know. Again, I had my earrings, my initial earrings put in when I was 3 months old. That hole never closes for me. So people say it's better to do when you're younger, when the baby's younger. And so it's done, but it was a little sad to do it because, I hate to see her cry and to have her crying because of an elective thing. But, you know, it'll be better later. Anyway, enough on ear piercing. Oh, just if you care, you have to leave them in for 6 weeks. So I can't take these particular earrings out for 6 weeks. Then after that, I can change to anything else. And these earrings were kind of like cheap because they're gold plated, and I'm like, it'd be nice if they had something better quality. But whatever, as long as she can tolerate it, I'm fine with it. Um, but anyway, so moving on. So this 17 weeks, I can't believe she's almost 4 months. It's crazy. And then we're going through leap four. Um, leap four is like the events leap. So the last one was leap three was like smooth transitions where I was telling you like, the movement from point A to point B, the smooth transition between that is what baby could perceive. And now leap four is putting all the smooth transitions together and making it more of an event. That may not make sense to you if you don't do the Wonder Weeks or follow any of that. Like I said, I do follow it, but I do take it with a grain of salt. But this is a big leap, and it comes in like 2 phases, and it lasts for like a month. So Michaela has been extra fussy. This leap started on October 29th for us, and she has been extra fussy, and she's always clingy, so I can't say she's been extra clingy. um but she has been fussier, and um I don't know if it has anything to do with the leap. I mean, they say that there's the period she's in now where the baby is extra fussy. um she's extra fussy today because she got her ears pierced, which is why I'm also holding her, trying to comfort her while she's napping. Even though a lot of times she holds me hostage like this, and I want to put her down, and then her eyes pop open, and it's like, nope, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to get anything done. And then I don't. I don't get anything done. But I don't know. All babies are different. Your baby may not be as clingy as mine, but mine is definitely mama's girl. I don't know how this is going to translate once she is older. If we'll be like best friends or she'll love me forever. But she is a Cancer. My understanding is Cancers are very attached to their mommies, but she is mommy's girl. She is. Um, in regards to childcare, I had been stressing me out a lot. So we finally decided to hire a nanny. Um, I visited some daycares. I visited 2 daycares, and I'd reached out to some others, but just from the phone conversations, I didn't get the best vibe, or they didn't have availability when I needed it. So I visited two. One was cheaper than the other one, and I had high hopes for that one because it was a nice Christian school, Christian daycare that went up to preschool up to 4 years old, and then they have a sister school that's from 5 years old to eighth grade. And I was really hoping to like that one, but I went there twice. I did 2 tours because the first one I was just kind of like I wasn't sure. The second one I felt like I took a closer look It's the first time. I don't know if I knew what to look for. I had like 100 questions. I was so focused on getting through my list of questions that I didn't focus on actually inspecting the place. So I had all these questions and I'm like running through a list of questions and it's like look around full. So I went back and did a second tour, and the infant's room is carpeted at this daycare, and the carpet was dirty. And yes, things happen, spills happen, but it didn't look like it was like this just fell here today. I don't know if it's because the carpet was worn or like old and like raggedy. I don't really know what caused it, but it were like, lint pieces all over it. There was like, I don't know, different things. Yeah, part of it looked like maybe a kid had wasted something, but this is the infant's room. And the problem with this daycare is that for them, infants runs from 6 weeks, so they take 6 week olds up to 18-month olds. So 18-month olds probably shouldn't be in the infant's room. This place doesn't move a child out the infant room until the 18 months and walking. And so the problem is you're having walking babies in the room with babies that are crawling and not walking. And so there is a difference because these now toddlers who should be in the toddler room, um, a walking baby who has no concept of where he's walking, with these little babies can be a problem. So while we were there, my husband went with me the second time. He wasn't with me the first time, but I wanted another opinion. So while we were there, there were a few incidents where one of the older babies who was walking almost ran into some of the smaller babies that were and like bouncers and things like that. Now, they say they didn't have the small babies on the floor with the walkers, but if the walking baby can reach the smaller babies and they're kind of in the way, the one baby, he was walking around and he had a toy, and it was he almost hit one of the babies, and the smaller babies that was in a bouncer, in the head, because the bouncer is kind of low to the ground, so he almost hit the baby in the head. And not maybe not the biggest deal, but they probably shouldn't have these walking babies in the same room as the crawling and the smaller babies. Um, and speaking of crawling and rolling babies, you have the dirty carpet, and the carpet just didn't seem like it was kept clean, and that was concerning to me. I tried to overlook it and try not to be like nitpicking, but it's hard when you're talking about leaving your child somewhere. You kind of want it to be perfect, and then there will be no perfect child care coverage other than you, right? But um I just couldn't get past it. When we first walked in, there was an odor coming out of the infant's room, and it didn't smell like dirty diapers. It smelled like something rotten, maybe. I don't know. But that odor was not there the first time I went to visit. I will say the second visit caught them off guard because although I did schedule it, the person that I scheduled it with became ill and was not there. So the people that so when I arrived, the people that I was speaking with did not know I was there to do it. They did not expect anyone to come for a tour. They still did the tour, but they were not expecting me. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. The first time they were expecting me, this time they weren't expecting me. The person became ill and never told anyone that I was coming, apparently. That was another issue. The place didn't seem like the most professional. Um, to try to schedule the second tour, I had called several times, and each time it took me about 5 or 6 calls to get someone on the phone. And that kind of concerned me because if my child is there, I want someone to answer the phone. If I'm calling to make sure she's okay or to get an update or whatever, I need someone to answer the phone. I had to call over the course of several days. I called about 5 times, and then or 6 times, and then on the sixth time, I finally got someone on the phone. So that did concern me because I wouldn't want her to be somewhere where I can't get in contact because that would make me nervous. And maybe, again, maybe I'm just overdoing it, and I'm sure eventually I wouldn't be as nervous. But in the very beginning, I would probably call at least once a day to say, hey, is she okay? Is everything okay? So I don't know. So that didn't make me feel great about it. So there was a little bit of a lack of professionalism. They had that odor Like I said, it smelled like something rotten. I don't know what it could have been. Maybe they left some old baby. Some of the babies are on solid food. I don't know. Maybe something spoiled. I don't know what it was, but it didn't bring me any comfort. And then when I was there and I was inspecting and I saw that the rug was very dirty looking, I didn't feel like I would feel comfortable with her crawling on it or rolling on it. Um, so I don't know. She can roll a little bit right now. She's, again, not exactly 4 months, but she can roll a little bit. She doesn't roll consecutively, but she turns herself over on her tummy a lot. She does her own tummy time. Um, but that's about it. She does, like, maybe a front to back roll. We haven't gone more than that. It's so sad to me because I remember her being like just this little lump. And although it's amazing to see how much she's developed and grows and her personality and, she knows what she wants and things like that is absolutely amazing. It's sad because I miss my little lump. I miss that tiny little newborn. That, I mean, not that she doesn't need me as much. She still needs me for everything, of course, but she kind of, she has more of her own coming and you can see it. So it's so bittersweet. It's amazing, but it's sad to me at the same time because I loved my little bundle and now my bundle is big. I was just looking at some old pictures of her from when she was first born and I keep saying, "No, she looks the same. She looks the same." And it's like clearly, our features have changed somewhat. She's definitely bigger. Um, she's like double her birth size now. So, I don't know. It's sad. I see why women have more babies, but you can't keep a baby forever, right? Because no matter what, they grow up. But I get it. I get it. I didn't get it before. It's so funny. You have to go through this experience. You don't know how you're going to feel. It's so easy to say what you're going to feel, how you're going to feel, what you're going to do, but you really have no idea until you're in it. Um, I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it was not an instant love affair for me. When I first had the baby, I was just kind of like, what is this thing? And it takes up a lot of time. And what am I supposed to do? And how do I take care of it? And, I didn't feel a bond in the very first few weeks. And now it took time. And just from spending time with her and taking care of her, it's like she's just the most amazing thing. I look at her and, she'll smile or she'll giggle and, she's like, sticking her fist in her mouth and smiling at me. And I'm just like, how can you not love this, this baby? Like, it's the most amazing thing. And I'm sure that every parent feels that way. So, it's crazy, because you don't know how you're going to feel. I was like, not distant, but I just didn't feel a strong connection. But you will. Not everyone has that love at first sight. It's beautiful if you do, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm like, look. Now I look at her and I'm like, yeah, love. Like every look at her, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so in love. But it wasn't. It wasn't instant. Um, but that's really where we are right now. I have to go back to work by February 24th, which is still a ways off. I know, but I wanted to get childcare in place. I needed that off my head. We have a nanny that's supposed to start in January, so I can be there with her for a while. I'm praying it all works out, so I still have at least 2 solid months before the nanny arrives. Um, and I'm hoping to enjoy these 2 months and just spend the holidays with my baby and really be happy. That's all I want right now. That is all I want, to like make memories and be happy over this holiday season. And, I know the transition back to work is going to be brutal. Um, but, I'm trying not to think about it now that I believe childcare is more solidified. And I'm just praying it all works out. in our favor. So that's our update, ladies. I will update you next week. Kiss your babies for me, all you ladies out there that have your little ones, and I will talk to you soon.